Warning! The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of A.J. Orsini, the Steve Dave, and their guests exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dada and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
Hello, everybody out there. It's your boy, AJ Orsini, here with another edition, another episode, another chapter in the world of the OUM Network, in the world of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. We have an intro where we do the question mark for a reason. It's going to be your boy, one-on-one here today. It is going to be AJ Orsini, a la mode, all by himself, going dolo, as the kids once upon a time once said. Dave cannot be with us here tonight. A little bit of a family emergency took place not too long ago. We're literally about to set up to go on the air, and then something went down, and it's nothing serious. No one's injured. No one's sick. It's just something that needed to be tended to at the moment. So because of that, let's give you a quick update as to actually what's happening, not only tonight, but now because of this, what's going to be happening next week. So we were going to be Super Bowl heavy today. We weren't going to talk about the game because, let's face it, the game was Basuda. But we were going to talk about the Super Bowl commercials that took place. Dave really wanted to talk about that. I do too, because there was some serious head scratchers with those. But we were also going to talk about Bad Bunny taking center stage. Those two topics were actually going to be, we were going to flip the script here tonight. We were going to do a wrestling talk early this time around, and we were going to give Bad Bunny the main event slot as per his designation. I mean, the guy just was the headliner of one of the greatest events in the world this past weekend, so we figured we give him the same respect here. So that's the two topics that we were going to discuss here today. There was obviously more topics, but those were our final two topics that we were going to talk about here today. I technically could still do it. I don't want to do it because those are topics that Dave really wanted to be a part of. So I know everyone out there has short attention spans, but if you could give me the grace, I won't do it tonight. I'll save it for Dave for next week. But there are still some topics that we were going to do tonight that I think I'm very free to still do on my own. I'll update the schedule and the rundown for next week, but I'm going to save the main event for Bro to see when he comes back next week, and then we'll have the conversation. So you'll have to wait one more week for what we thought going on for the Super Bowl, for Benito, for the commercials. We're talking to you, Ben Affleck. I don't know what you were thinking, bro, but it was gold. I don't know what struck the inspiration, but a lot went down. So we're going to talk about all that when Dave comes back, which leaves me with the question, and I clicked away from it because I'm a dumb head, which leads me to the question, what are we talking about on the show tonight?
Hey, what's going to be on the show today?
On the show today will be me. Single talk here. It's not the first time I've done it on the show, and it has been a while, but it's not the first time that it's just been me. We are going to discuss some of the topics that we already have scheduled for B and Dave. Valentine's Day weekend. It is coming up this weekend. It's a big deal in the world here. Well, not in the world. I think it's more of an American holiday. Yeah, let's bring that bubble back in. It's a big deal here in the States. Do a little Valentine's Day get together. I've got plans with the wife. I think Dave does too. He should. I would hope he does, but we'll find out next week exactly what those plans were. And I know that you guys have plans out there for your significant other. But I wanted to hear from the long-term couples. I mean, the people that have really been together through the thick and the thin, and have had several Valentine's days under their belts. I wanted to hear from them, so I took to Twitter, and we're going to discuss some of our favorite long-term relationship Valentine Day tweets here on the show. We're also going to, let me pull that up for you. We're also going to talk about the OUM Network updates. There's some updates that we were going to talk about on the show when Dave was here. Some things that I need to update you guys on and what we're doing, what some of the plans are, and some changes that we made, including one hell of a discovery that has kind of forced me in the position where I feel like I kind of have to actually apologize. So, and that's apologies to you. And then, of course, in today's main event slot, we're going to talk about championships. We're going to be talking about what it means to be a champion, to hold a championship belt or title, not just in the world of professional wrestling, but just in general, what it means to be a champion and how that generality, how being a champion in other worlds affects what it means to be a champion in pro wrestling. I know it sounds like there's a lot going on there, but you'll see when we get there. It's very, very doable. It's a doable conversation. So it has been a long time. Looking around right now, it's been a long time since I've done this all by myself. So let's see how this goes. Let's get into seg one, huh?
Dave, it's time to start the show. Let's begin with segment 1.
I am going to begin the show, actually. I'm going to mix this around here with the OUM Network update. So here's the deal with that, right? So as everyone knows, we've been pushing our product on the YouTube channel. I still upload everything to Podbean because Podbean pushes it out onto other platforms. So it's been a really cool time to just let it ride off into these other platforms and see what happens. It's been really effective for my Podbean numbers. My Podbean numbers are going up despite I haven't really even been plugging it or pushing it in like any way. I've just kind of primarily been focusing on the YouTube thing. We're striving for monetization. So any way that you can help and support your boy, this is the way to go. Like, subscribe, share, watch the videos, anything you can contribute. Somehow the link tree is linked to every video, so maybe that's it. I don't know. But the numbers have been astronomical on Podbean. When I was trying to get them up, I couldn't get them up. Now I'm not trying to get them up, and they're going up all by themselves. So I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles. But the YouTube channel has been giving me some issues. I talked a little bit about it when Dave was on the show last, where apparently you can't really do the monetization stuff if you're going to be age restricted, meaning if you have videos on there that are deemed inappropriate for younger audiences, it really affects your channel in the monetization kind of way. So I try not to have any videos on the YouTube channel that might be age restricted. So what that entails is now I have to go in there, I have to change some wording in the description, because apparently in my earlier videos, or excuse me, my earlier audio, I was pretty loose with a lot of shit. I wasn't worried about standards and practices at all. I was just doing a show. And maybe that built and made for a better podcast, but it's kind of a headache now trying to re-edit everything. So as I've told you guys previously, because of this push through YouTube, I'm trying to get as much of my content out there as I can. I started adding the old episodes onto YouTube. And for the most part, excuse me, for the most part, everything's uploaded pretty good. But I'd made mention of 2 episodes in particular that would not, no matter how I typed it up, no matter how I wrote it down, it would not take it. It would not just leave it to general audiences. It just kept age restricting over and over. It was episode 13 and episode 18. And because it hadn't happened after that, I kind of just kept the vibe going. And I haven't uploaded it to YouTube, like I just said. Excuse me. And I haven't brought it to YouTube. So I kind of gave up on it and I just let it go. And so I've been uploading more and more of the previous episodes. I got to episode 68 recently. I don't think that's what's available. I think I scheduled 68. Let's confirm. Because I know I'm scheduled all the way up until 80. What's public? The last public one is 63. Okay. So there you go on that. But I got all the way up to about 68 and I ran into a problem. Just kept age restricting over and over and over and over. Nothing I can do. So I said, man, I don't really want this to be a habit. I don't really want this to be a continuous pattern. So let's take the time, right? So I picked a day. I played episode 68. I let it rock and I let it play out. I said, okay, let's see if we can put a finger on what it is that YouTube is saying. Absolutely not. We can't do this. So I listened to the whole thing and I got to a part where I can't repeat it because if I repeat it, I'll get this one struck, I guess, or whatever. And needless to say, okay, that might have been a little far to say. It was something in the unaliving category, so I was like, all right, let's see if we can remove this section or this piece. It's a small piece, maybe, if anything, a minute. Maybe that'll change some things. So I edited it out, re-uploaded it, and still. So I said, okay. So I just kept listening for a while. And I did that for pretty much most of the episode. And so every time I would run into a piece that I felt like maybe this is the part that YouTube is saying no, I clipped it out, redid the video, re-uploaded the video, and I just kept doing that until eventually it just went away. It just stopped. YouTube just said, okay, you're good. General. So I fixed the episode. Now, I thought to myself, it's a little time consuming, but all of a sudden I'm having a coughing fit. But if I took the time, I might be able to get those other 2 episodes out. So episode 68 took a few minutes. I got lucky. It was kind of in the beginning. 18 was the episode where we moved into my current home here, which is crazy. I moved in 2018. I did a whole episode. My first, it was episode 13 was the first episode in this house, which means, what is this, 342? Yeah, over 300 episodes were filmed in this house. But that was the debut episode of this house, basically. And I told a story on that video that kind of got a little outlandish. So I started cutting pieces of that, and it worked. Then I got to episode 13, the only one left that I haven't had any opportunities at all to sit down and edit so that I could upload to YouTube. And I finally sat down and said, okay, we're going to do it. Episode 13, here it is. And it was Angry AF Part 2. The Teeth Strikes Back. That's the name of the episode. And I have to say, I was very upset. I was angry AF for sure. There's a lot of language on that one. And some of the jokes and some of the euphemisms that I made, a little on the outlandish side. Let's just say there was a lot of editing done for that episode. Not a lot of time out of it. I maybe trimmed down 2 or 3 minutes, but it's a MF here, it's an unalive here. Something about me running out of medication, and if that happens, I'm gonna unalive people around me, but it got crazy. It got crazy, and I was fresh off of it, so I was really feeling it. So, yeah, YouTube, you were right. That one needed to be edited just a little bit. So those lost episodes, 13 and 18, are officially uploaded, ready to go. I'm going to be scheduling them this week. So it'll be in order now, 1 to whatever number I'm up to now, and we'll just go sequentially in a row and just see what's up. So right now, I think I just confirmed it. The last episode that was released was episode 63, but I have scheduled on my YouTube studio all the way up to 80. and no copyright issues, no age restrictions, nothing. So we should be good for a while. They're scheduled to release every few days or whatever, and I'm pretty much scheduled all the way to April with 80. So we're just chugging along. If you're following along with the episodes, that's great. I have the playlist already made if you want to continue to do that. If you want to listen to the episodes I haven't released yet on YouTube, or, and this is a dope feature now, I didn't think about this until today. If you want to listen to the original episodes in full, unedited versions, not the YouTube safe versions, but completely edit free as they are, with music, with sounds that I wasn't allowed to use, topics that I was able to discuss on YouTube, head over to the Podbean, podbean.com/AJOUM. It's down there on the ticker. I think it says the link tree down there. That'll take you to the Podbean as well. And you can listen to the original episodes as they were in their original forms. There's been some editing, obviously, for YouTube. Not just age-restricted stuff, but just copyright stuff. I spammed the hell out of Jinder Mahal's theme a few times. There's a few TV show themes that I've used. There's some wrestling themes that I probably shouldn't have used. It's all on there. Also, as I've progressed through the episodes, I'm running into some old interviews that I did with some people that I haven't had a chance to really re-promote. I promoted them when I did them, but I haven't re-promoted them since. So now, like, I have on the actual YouTube channel, you can listen to an interview that I had with EC Negro, Ronnie Burton, Mike Law. There's a couple of indie talents that I've had the conversation with that are already on the channel. But coming up, like within the next episodes that I have coming out, I realized there's a lot of interviews that I did there that I just never had a chance to just pull out and promote and really put out there. TJ Marconi's on there, NWA superstar Brian Idol's on there. I got an interview that I did with LAX, Ortiz and Santana before the move to AEW when they were the current Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. I got a chance to talk to them on the show. They're good friends of mine. I haven't had them on the show since, but they've been on the show since they've been on the show doing that. So that's all coming up down the line. And as far as new interviews go, those have been scheduled. We'll see how we can keep that together. And as I told you guys when Dave was last here, new art, new music, a lot of new things coming down the pike. I am hoping and praying that most of the stuff that I want to get done for the show, as far as revamping, is done by at least the WrestleMania live conversation, and we'll boost it up from there. So that's pretty much the update on the channel. You guys can check that out. Podbean.com/AJOUM. Not a big deal. You guys can check it out whenever you can. Another update is going to be after I get all these episodes all finished and wrapped up and the new art comes in. When the new art comes in more specifically, we're going to also be redoing the merch website. ajoum.com is where you can buy. Here, I'm going to pull it up for you. ajoum.com is where you can buy all of the cool merch from AJ Orsini and Steve Dave. He said he hates that logo. I think the logo is pretty cool, but it is what it is. We're going to get ourselves some new stuff. We're going to have some new art coming in, so that'll mean that we'll change and update some of that stuff on the merch. You guys can support the show in that way as well. So that's the update. That's everything that's been going on. I'm glad I got a chance to get that all out there to you people. Let's go ahead and get to our next segment.
Let's keep this show going. It's time for segment 2.
Segment 2. Here's what we're going to do. It actually still says this, which is no good. We're going to take that off, right? Our second segment is going to be talking about Valentine's Day. I'm married, and you can't tell because I don't have the ring on, right? Which is a whole nother bag of shit. I don't It's see how it's not on? Still married. Still very much married. On the other side of this wall is a beautiful, buxom Latina woman who can't get enough of Dada. Is in the other room right now paying attention to the sun that we created with my penis. Over there, chilling, hanging out, minding their own business while Dad is in here talking to you good folks at home. And so we've been together. This September will be our 23rd year together. And look, still married. It does not go anywhere at all whatsoever. I don't know why people get all wrapped up in the ring. I like wearing the ring, but sometimes I need a break. I'm not a big jewelry guy. Never been a big jewelry guy. For a number of years, we had it on no breaks. I mean, over a decade. We got married 09. Actually, it was exactly a decade because we had promised each other that by the 10th anniversary, we would get each other new rings, updated rings. Hopefully, we were hoping and praying our money would be better in 10 years, which it was. And we got each other some different rings. I bought her a new ring. She bought me a new ring. And for the first decade, that the original rings that we wore, we never took them off, right? So they were beat to shit because we never took them off. Like never took them off. Showers and beaches and pools and dishes, right? We're wearing it the whole time. So we finally decided when we got the new rings, well, let's not beat them to death. So every now and then, you start to get that ring around your finger, get a little crunchy, get a little messed up there. You take the ring off. You take a little break from the ring. It's all right. It's good. Good for the soul. Get your hands free. Still very much married. Not an excuse to go out, start talking to people. Not an excuse to start DMing people. It is what it is. She has. I just recently took mine off. I don't think she's worn hers in forever. So it is. It is what it is. So that brings us to the the conversation of eternal love, and that's what Valentine's Day is all about. I know people are going to sit there and say, "Oh, it's been commercialized. How shallow is it to blah 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 blah?" Yeah, no, it's a pretty good time to celebrate those that you love and those that you love being around. I didn't mind when I was a kid getting Valentine's Day gifts for my mom or cousins or whatever. I didn't care. Valentine's Day is not gifts for people you want to fuck. It's for gifts for people that you love. You know, for the ladies in your life, or ladies, for the gentlemen in your life. That's all that it really is. I can go to the store and buy my wife a gift. I could take her out to a fancy dinner. She can't give me my gift until later. But we can still, you know, still hang out and do stuff, which is what we're going to do this weekend. Now, this particular February has been frozen in ice. We just talked about it last week with Snowpocalypse 2026. The neighboring rivers to us here in Brooklyn are frozen. I don't know if you guys heard out there, but the Hudson River, the East River over here in the Northeast New York, it's almost frozen solid. So, frigid temperatures. So we've kept that in mind, and we've limited ourselves to what we're going to do this weekend. We've made some plans. It's nothing really all that cool. Not that cool. All that like extravagant, but it's cool for us. Doing some sort of chocolate dipping thing over the weekend. We're going to go hit up this brand new buffet that opened up over in Queens. It's going to be a phenomenal time. But those are subtle plans, right? And we're a long-term relationship. We've been together for a long time. So our version of Valentine's Day is we like to do what the Latin community calls we tranquilo. You know, we take it easy. It's smooth. It's another day, but it's not. We give it a little extra, but we just go with the flow, baby. Roll with the punches. I found some tweets for some people, long-term relationships, from people who were just giving people on the internet some insight as to what it is that they're going to be doing for Valentine's Day weekend. and I wanted to share some with you. So why don't we go ahead? I'm going to share this real quick. Window, yes. Boop. There we are. What's the best way to do this? Should I just do it like this? Yeah, how about that? We'll do it like that, huh? So it starts off with char. Okay, my husband proposed 2 days after Valentine's Day so that every year he can get me discounted flowers and chocolates on the anniversary instead of the holiday. This man was thinking ahead. He was trying to get a twofer. He's trying to get a twofer. Can you imagine? This guy was, he's thinking. He's thinking. Hold on. I want to see if I can find, hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to find the one that fits the best. All right. Does that matter? No. It either puts me down or it puts me up. I don't know. Ooh. Nah, forget it. Let's just do that. Here we go. So we're going with the second. For Valentine's Day, my husband cleaned out the fridge, and I literally could not be happier. If you're wondering what marriage is like, my wife does get pretty impressed when I clean the fridge. She goes, "Oh, look at you." I know. They like it when you clean shit. They like it more when you clean shit that they didn't ask you to clean, that you knew needed to be cleaned, and then decided, you know what? This needs to be cleaned. I'm going to clean it. They love that. They go crazy for it. They gaga for that. Little pro tip. All right. What wives want for Valentine's Day? This comes from James Breakwell. First year flowers, 5th year chocolate, 10th year jewelry, 20th year to be left the hell alone. My wife does not want to be left the hell alone. Excuse me. She does not want to be left alone. She wants to be smothered in family at all times. So it does follow, though. Flowers, here's the thing with flowers in my house, and I don't know how it is for you guys. I can't buy my wife flowers. She doesn't get into flowers. It just died. It doesn't do anything. It's just bad. So I can't get her flowers. So that's nothing to do. 5th year, he wrote chocolate. For me in this house, chocolate is every year. They got to get the chocolate. It's mandatory. I got to figure out this year's, by the way, because I think they sold out of the M&M one she wanted. 10th year, jewelry. I don't mind buying my wife jewelry, but she's got a jewelry box that takes up residency more than it does on her. And plus, it's been a while since she's worn earrings. So we're trying to get them re-pierced. So, there's that. To be left alone, I already addressed that. Jawbreaker puts out, husband, I got the dog heart-shaped cookies for Valentine's Day. Me, threw a mouthful of cookies. The dog? She just took all those biscuits to the face. That's smart, though. Like, you gotta, I feel like you have to introduce the food before you display the food. That's just, another pro tip. Darling Darla at Darlanky. Cool. I'd order my daughter and myself a couple Valentine's Day candles from Bath and Body Works. My husband opened the box and thought one was for him. He lit it immediately and was so happy. It only took 26 years for me to figure out this perfect gift, completely on accident. He's a big candle fan. She had no idea. Probably because she assumed her husband was a male. I don't know. It's a candle. If you're not lighting a candle to mask smells in the house, what are we doing? Yulissa at Mother Playlist. That sounds like a wrestling name. Mother Playlist. This Saturday, come check out as Mother plays all the hits on the playlist. For Valentine's Day, I just want for my husband to find whatever it is that he's looking for without my help. Brother, husband seminar. They don't want to help you. They want your help. They don't want to help you. Know where your shit is, dude. Because the last thing you need is to be in debt to someone because you couldn't find your socks. Don't do that. Spend low, earn big. Okay, don't know where your shit is, dude. My wife's the opposite. Everything. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? You don't want to be on the other side of that, dude. Flip it around. Let's go. Ulysses got a point. All right. Cheat. Chayish? Oh, at the Cheshish. All right. She doesn't have a check mark, though, so. How to win over your date this Valentine's. Book a hotel in a small village for the weekend. Search the local newspaper archives for a grisly unsolved murder. Team up together to crack the cold case. Catch the real killer. You see that? Now, on paper, that does sound really, really cool. But now, all of a sudden, you're going after a killer. I don't know. That might be a different type of Valentine's Day. The rivers will run red with something other than cherries or whatever it is that's supposed to bring red. At Jim Gaffigan, one of my favorite comedians, Valentine's Day. I'm so excited. And by excited, I mean I don't care. Oh, that must have been fun for his wife to read on the internet. Eric, what did you get her for Valentine's Day? Unmarried guy, a card, flowers, perfume, and I'm cooking dinner. Okay, married guy. We got a new garbage disposal last month. That third was going to be divorced guy. Probably should have got the card, the flowers, the perfume, and probably should have cooked the dinner. I know he meant it as a joke, so I'm gonna ha ha. But don't do that. Don't do that. There we go. Amy Dillon. For Valentine's Day, my husband gave me a card that says, I love you. Stop filling the Netflix queue with documentaries about conjoined twins. Separate Netflix, I was going to say accounts, but it's not different accounts. What is it? Profiles. Separate profiles. Separate. If you go to my wife's profile, it has XYZ. If you go through my profile, ABC. Alex, my son, has a profile, elemental P, right in the middle. I'm telling you, get your own. You don't want to know what she's watching, and she doesn't want to know what you're watching. All right? Her whole thing has conjoined twins, and yours probably has that Elway documentary that I can't stop talking about. It's so good. You guys got to see it if you're a football fan. Jesse, Valentine's Day. Husband gives me chocolates. Me, thank you. I love you. Day after. Him, can I have one? Me, hissing. Sometimes my wife forgets that she has the candy. So I don't think she minds so much giving me one because she'll just forget that it's even there. Chaz read. No, I read. I'm going to read. I don't think my wife realizes that the free sex coupons I gave her last Valentine's Day are about to expire. Strong point. Strong point, sir. You should have given her reminders before the year. February, I'm assuming, is when you gave it to her last year. You gave it to her last February. 6 months, bro. The summer, July to August, we should have been hammering this home. And I mean that figuratively and literally. We should have been hammering that home. Okay? No idea, Daddy Blog. This is Mel and I discovering our Valentine's Day plans in case you're wondering what 13 years of marriage looks like. 13 years. Rooks. I don't know. I'm having trouble finding a movie that looks good. Maybe we should go washer, dryer shopping instead. Sounds sexy. While we're at it, we can finish our taxes. Too hot. Damn it. We have to do our taxes too. I just remembered. It's fucking February, bro. It's February, bro. It's February. James Breakwell, 10-year-old. What are you getting Mom Valentine's Day? Me? Nothing. Just like every year. 10. How are you still married? The 10-year-old has a point, James. What are you doing? Wine and dine the lady. She lets you put your pee-pee in places. You got to find her something for Valentine's Day. You have to. I always make the joke that relationships happen when a guy can trick a girl into believing that he's a good dude and she should invest in him. You have to keep the trick going. You have to live the life, bro. You got to get in there. Come on. Even the 10-year-old sees it. Let's go. Get on it. Hip, we're not doing this Valentine's thing right. Me, nah, but I found you a card and a stash I have. Him, can we both sign it? You see that? Another twofer. We're trying to make this work. This is long-term relationship shit. If you're getting the vibe of everyone's just meh, then you're right. Absolutely right. Just a few more. My husband just ran out of quick errand, and I could tell by the panic in his eyes. He just realized Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Ha! He just ran out for a quick errand, and I could tell by the panic in his eyes. Yeah. Oh, babe. Oh, you know what? Crazy. I was supposed to get string for work. Yeah, boss has really been riding me. I got to get that string and corkboard. String and corkboard because those go together. And my boss said I should have them for tomorrow. And then just leaves the house and comes back with a card and the balloons. And hopefully he stopped at the supermarket, got a nice little Carvel ice cream cake. The women love the ice cream cake. Mark, picking out a Valentine's Day card is easy if you wait until the last minute when there are only 3 left and one appears to be gently used. I will admit, somewhere in the middle, relationship-wise, that was something that I did, for sure. I will admit that. But, you get older, you get wiser, you get ahead of the game. Everything works out for the best. James Breakwell is back. Valentine's Day is a made-up holiday. Wife, all holidays are made up. Me. Wife, they didn't magically appear on calendars on their own. It's the Thor joke, right? From Avengers? That word sounds made up. All words are made up. There you go. A geek, making eggs Benedict for my Valentine's this morning, taking my marriage into the Friends with Benedict zone. Boom! Dad joke and punnery. How about that? Last one, BJ Novick. Love Valentine's Day. Love New Year's Eve. Love taking the SATs. Just love high pressure situations and extreme expectations in general. BJ Novick is for the business. Extreme situations, baby. That's what the game is all about. So I don't know what your plans are for Valentine's Day. I have no clue at all whatsoever what everybody here is going to be so invested in over the course of the weekend. But I wish you a safe weekend. It sucks that we have Don't Let Her Hear You, Friday the 13th. But it's all right. Look to me. It's all right. You're going to be okay. You get past that point, you get to Saturday, Valentine's Day is on a Saturday. Enjoy the weekend, man. It's going to be really, really good. I'm going to let you guys know what we went because apparently I was looking at my YouTube channel to see if we did something last year for Valentine's Day. I did the Bingo Loco contest last year, where I won a trip that I never even went on because it was a fucking fugazi ass, it's a whole setup. Go watch the clip and I'll explain the whole thing. But it was just, I won a free trip to, I think it was Vegas, and it was just, whatevs. So that is our Valentine's Day little situation there. Wishing everybody a good Valentine's Day this weekend. Now, let's get into our main event.
It is now time for the main event of the evening.
We are here to talk about championships and what it means to be a champion, what it means to hold the strap, the world. I should have brought it out. That would have been funny. I've got a world title belt in there right now as we speak. But what it means to be the heavyweight champion of the world, not just the heavyweight champion, actually. We're going to broaden that out, right? Because there's other championships. The Tag Team Championship, the Intercontinental, the United States, that's just WWE. The TNT title, the TBS title, the Trios title, the Never Open Weight, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. I've seen so many different indie belts. The social media champion, the interstate champion, the interborough champion. Champion. What does it mean to be a champion? What is the point to it all, right? Because we're living in a world where everybody is of the impression, and rightfully so, that professional wrestling, we don't use, I just dropped this key that I really, really need. I just dropped this key that I really, really need and can't reach. There it is. We don't have the same definition of it that it used to mean. It's kind of changed over time. And no, I didn't say that it evolved. It changed. And it changed because people changed it. Because people saw what it meant, understood what it meant, but was so dead set on becoming part of the group that would have the honor and the privilege of being called champion that they were willing to manufacture it themselves. We call them belt marks in the industry. Just guys that just want to walk around with a strap, walk around with a championship title belt, just for the sake of saying that they're a champion, regardless if they live the part, behave the part, eat, sleep, breathe the part, perform like the part, go through long nights and early evenings for the part, represent the company as the champion and play that part. They don't want to do all that, but they do want to be the champion. So we're going to talk about that here today. We're going to talk about what it is to be a champion. Before we get into the champion situation in pro wrestling, on a larger scale, what does being a champion mean? When you perform in sports and you win a championship, if you become the NCAA heavyweight champion in wrestling, if you become NCAA basketball champion, if you become NHL Stanley Cup world champions, if you win a World Series, if you win the NBA Finals, if you win, just like this past weekend, you win a Super Bowl and you're the Super Bowl champion, what does it mean? First and foremost, both in the real world and the kayfabe, it means the same. It means you're the best. That's why it's called a title. You're holding a title in the form of a belt. The belt is a physical form of said title. That means that you represent your sport or your event or your team or whatever it is you're the champion of. That means you represent that. So, for instance, the Seattle Seahawks just won the Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl 60. That means for the 2025 to 2026 season of the NFL, the best team was the Seattle Seahawks. You can debate all you want in the comments. You can debate all you want on the podcast. Sorry, there's an ambulance going by. I don't know if Mike is picking that up. You can debate, you can debate, you can debate, you can debate, you can debate. The fact is they won the Super Bowl. An opportunity and a championship. Everybody had an equal amount of opportunity to win. They didn't win it. Seattle did. And in convincing fashion. By the way, New England, they won the Super Bowl. They're the best in the world. There's no one better at this specific sport than them. With that championship, now comes a separate set of responsibilities. Because when you're the champion, you're the best. When you're the best, you have the unfortunate honor of representing your peers. You're the best. So that means on the field, off the field. That means staying out of legal trouble. That means if you're going to do endorsements where you're going to be speaking for a brand, you do so in a professional manner. You represent the company well. You represent the NFL well, or whatever brand that's made you a champion. Those are all the things that go with being a champion. The bragging rights, right? How many? I don't know what it is. How many of these GOAT conversations do we have on a daily basis? Not just in sports, but the greatest movie of all time, the greatest television show of all time, the greatest actor of all time, the greatest, doctor of all time, the greatest teacher of all time. It doesn't matter. When you're talking about greats, when you're talking about the greatest, you're having a subjective conversation. You're having a subjective conversation. There's no real answer to the question, who's the greatest of all time? But what a championship does is it answers the question, who's the best right now? That's why when you have conversations about GOATs and about greats, people tend to bring in the championships. Does winning a championship make you a better player than everybody else? Not necessarily. That's why you dwindle the pool down. When you talk about the greatest of anything, you have to dwindle that pool down. You have to get it to a place where you can have a rational conversation. And that's where championships come in, because to be the GOAT, to be the best, you need to win. You need to win your respective sports or events or whatever it was that crowned you a champion. So now you segue this into pro wrestling. And we know that the pro wrestling is predetermined. There's a conversation that takes place before the guys enter the ring, before they perform. And we know that we live in a world where champions are chosen, not necessarily a free-for-all in the ring that results in a champion. The champions are booked. They're selected. This guy's going to win the belt tonight. He's going to beat you inside of 10 minutes, make it look good. We know that that's what the situation is. We get it. And yet, this whole business worked a lot better when the pro wrestling championships existed in the same plane as, say, a sports championship. When people looked at the world champion and said, he's the best talent on earth, he's a world's champion, this business was a lot better because it was easy to convince people that he was great because he had the strap, he had the belt, he was the best. And that's why a lot of companies back in the day didn't have a lot of champions, because we can't all be the best. You can do divisional stuff, like in boxing, where you have a heavyweight champion and a light heavyweight champion and a featherweight champion, and now we have a bantamweight champion. Wrestling used to do that. WWE used to do it. WWE champion, he was the heavyweight champion, he was the all-encompassing champion. But the Intercontinental champion, a little less of a jurisdiction there, but still something. European champion, light heavyweight champion. So you're starting to have some differentiation. When they got to that part, they were having a lot of belts, and some of them did have to go away. Hardcore belt. There was a lot of moving parts, right? But in today's game, I know people are going to point to AEW, but this is not just an AEW problem. There's belts all over the place now. Even indie companies, 5, 6, 7 belts being made. Everyone's got a belt. Having a belt doesn't make you the champion. Being the leader, being the trendsetter, that's what makes you the champion. Being the guy in the locker room that everybody can rely on to be a draw and bring fans to the building, into the seats, and paying attention to the shows and buying the merch and buying the tickets, that's champion. Now, that may not happen right off rip, especially on the indie level. I could put a belt on you and you can't do any of that yet. But by me putting the belt on you, that's a symbol to the audience that we're going to try. We're going to try to make this a thing. We want this guy to be successful. Jump on board. Support this guy or this lady as we crown them the champion. I heard Vince Russo use the phrase runs, and a lot of people have run with it ever since. I thought the belt's a prop. It's a prop. It's a piece of, it's an object that's used within a story that we sell to the audience. It's not a real championship. They're not really competing for it. So it's just more like a prop. I've always hated that phrase. I hate prop. I feel like it downplays everything that everybody is working towards when they win a championship. People have died in that ring. And people have gotten seriously hurt in that ring. And they would love nothing more than to be back in that ring competing for a championship. It's still supposed to mean something. It's still supposed to mean that it's an important symbol to the audience. Okay? If you want to say, oh, they don't like saying belt, WWE, it's not a belt, right? A belt, something you use to hold up your pants. Not this belt. Hence why it its physical appearance is different from a dress belt. You obviously wouldn't be able to put that belt around your pants. The belt loops are too small. Stupid. That's not what that means. It's a symbol. It's a symbol of excellence. This guy is the man. Now, if he's a babyface champion, the goal is to get him to be cheered out of the goddamn building. But if he's a heel champion, the goal is to get him booed out of the entire building. And I don't do this. I'm going to support this answer or this thesis of mine with a conversation, and I don't normally do this, but I have brought it up in the past, so I don't think I'm too far out of the realm of this isn't exactly name dropping or whatever. But one time in my life, and I've worked with this man several times, but there was one man in my life, one time in my life that I was able to have actual conversation with this man, and while brief, a very nice conversation. And I had it with Mick Foley. I was doing a show at Six Flags in New Jersey, Jackson, New Jersey, I think it is. And we had some time before the show, and everyone's kicking around. And I had noticed that there was a trailer off to the side where I needed to speak to the ring announcer at the time, which was Larry Legend, who, by the way, is one of the interviews that I had is going to be coming up. So if you guys want to hear that, it's coming up. If you want to hear it now, head over to Podbean. And they say, hey, go grab these notes or whatever from Larry. He's in the trailer over there. So I go to the trailer over there, and I go inside. And inside this trailer, it's Mick Foley, Ted DiBiase, Ricky Steamboat, Jake the Snake Roberts. There's a fifth. I'm slipping. Was it Tama Tonga? It was somebody new. I can't remember who it was. It was Tama, because Tama was putting the face paint on. And so they're all just bullshitting around. And this is an easy moment to get starstruck and to mark out, yada, yada, yada. But I'm on business. So I'm here to talk to Larry. Larry is doing an on-camera interview. So I got to wait. And while I'm waiting, Mick Foley just starts talking to me. So I start talking to Mick. And like I said, brief. Few things here and there. Talk to Larry, get my notes, whatever I need, get the fuck out. But I got a chance to talk to Mick, and the one thing he said that I always remembered and will always stick out to me, and it's part of the conversation that I have with people when discussing how important it is to be a top guy. Not just the champion, but to be a top guy. Like right now, Roman Reigns is a top guy, but he's not the champion, but he's a top guy. And Mick told me this wonderful story. He was talking about the WrestleMania main event that he had because I had asked him. I said, you did get that one WrestleMania main event. And I said, you had made mention that you weren't in the best of shape for it, but that it was something you had earned. So I always wanted to ask you, like, you're in the main event of WrestleMania, like, how was that day? How was that time spent throughout the day before you get to, the main event of the show, which, by the way, that was WrestleMania 2000, the four-way. So it was in Anaheim, California. And he starts telling me about how cool it was and the day. And then he had a realization at that WrestleMania that he told me. He said, it's you work so hard to get to the top. And it's like climbing a mountain without looking down. You don't look behind you. You don't look down. To get to the top, you have to stay singularly focused on getting to the top. And so he did. And he rose and he rose and he rose. Now he's in the middle of WrestleMania. He said that day in Anaheim was the first time I ever had a chance, after all that climbing, to look down. Because he had lost the retirement match in February. In his head, this was a one and done. He wasn't coming back to wrestling ever again. He's going to retire off of his WrestleMania main event, go out on a high note. So he said, I had a chance to look down and really take in what my career had become and really take in what my work had provided for me. And he said something to me that always stuck with me. He said that it's the first time I ever stopped mingling and socializing and just walked. And just walked. And I got to see all these faces and all these people that are working on this show, putting the ring together, putting the set together, putting together all of the electronics and the cameras and the ring announcers and the commentators, and people are down to the people who are ripping the tickets and sweeping the floors. They all have a job because you are good at what you do. When you train and when you get in the ring, it's selfish. It's for selfish reasons. You always wanted to do this. You're following your dream. You want to be one of the best at it. But in essence, if you really think about it, it's not selfish, because that determination, that will, that fire that you're putting into your career, it lends itself, it causes a radius around you of other people who get to succeed and live their dream based off of your efforts. It's very weird. He said it didn't dawn on him until that day. He said, I'm only going to be in the ring 10 or 15 minutes, maybe. I think he's one of the first ones eliminated from that. He said, I think he was the first eliminated from the match. He said, I'm only going to be up there 10 or 15 minutes. But the success of this show is banked on your 10 to 15 minutes. All of these people have a job and are able to provide for their families, and they get to live their dream of being in this business based on your ability to do what you do in the ring. And ever since he told me that, it just gave me this overwhelming sense of pressure, which I think is good for people, especially in this context. There's pressure there for you to succeed at your very best, because if you don't, the company suffers. Less people are coming to the shows, less people are interested in what you're doing. And when they're not interested in what you're doing, they don't go to the shows. This is the importance of the term that people used back in the day, draws. It was important to be a draw. You could be a great wrestler and not draw. No one will pay to see you. We get it. Shoulder tackle, drop down, hip toss, arm drag. We get it. We've seen it. Everybody here does it. I'm not going to buy a ticket for that. Then I've seen the opposite. Can't wrestle a lick, but over like Rover. And people are paying to see this guy do whatever the fuck it is that he do. It might not be wrestling, but we know he's dope at what he does. So I'm going to pay to see it. That's the magic of it. To incorporate the worlds. To be able to perform at a high level and do it with a personality and a charisma and a relatability that brings the fans in to come see you perform. As we mentioned last week, be a Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green is her work, her in-ring work is not bad at all. It's actually pretty good, but it's nothing. It doesn't hold a candle to what she does as a performer. Her character work is A1, and it gets her over. And time again. Right? There's a lot of people right now that truly believe in their hearts that Gunther can't wrestle. He's boring. He's boring. He can't wrestle. He can wrestle. He's just doing it in a way that's pissing you off, and that's his job. That's what it means to be good. Roman Reigns is about to enter, what was it they said? His 7th consecutive WrestleMania main event. That's several years on top. I'm not here to put over Roman. I'm just saying, like, that's a rare thing. So that's why, if you want to bring it back to a lower level, like, say, the indie level, that's why when you look at the company as a whole and figure out why you're not getting any kind of attention or any kind of push or any kind of mention or any kind of just structure to the situation. They're looking for opportunity. You want to be a top guy. I want to carry this company in my back. When they're not giving you the ball, this is where self-evaluation has to come in. How can I force their hand? Not how can I get them to give me what I want? Because I want to be a champion. I want to win a championship. I want to be the guy. I want to be the heavyweight champion of this company. I want to be the world's heavyweight champion. You're not going to get there until you reach out and you fulfill all of these intangibles. And that's just in the ring. Because the factor that no fan ever incorporates into their thinking when it says, well, why is this guy not champion? They got to be easy to work with. You can be the most talented wrestler in the world. If you're difficult, if you question everything, if you go off script, if you do your own thing, if you're injuring people, if you're taking too long on your promos, you just sit here just filleting yourself on camera, they're not going to make you the champion. Because why? I got to work with you. I don't want to deal with the headache that is you over and over and over again. Talent doesn't overwrite anything. You gotta be good inside the ring, good on the mic, a good person, a reliable person, and dependable person. And reliable and dependable are two different things. They really are. To be a champion, you have to be the epitome of everything that company is looking for. And it doesn't matter if they're selecting their champions. In fact, if the NFL or the NBA or the NHL or Major League Baseball or Major League Soccer, if they could control who wins and who doesn't, they would. Because that's smart business. You think the NFL wanted the Patriots and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl? No. Not a lot of star power there. Not a lot going on with that. So no. I don't think that was a situation that they wanted at all. But we played it out. These are the two teams that got in. In pro wrestling, we don't have that issue. We put in the match who we want to put in the match. We have them do what we want them to do. That's it. And that's why some people get upset when a match happens and it ends the way that it does, because they go, this is what you wanted. This is what you chose to happen. This is how you booked it. Well, I could do a better job than this. I could book this, or I could book that, or whatever, whatever people say. You want your champion to be the one person. If all else fails, if the whole roster is a joke, you want your champion to be the one guy in the room where the crowd goes, that's who I came to see. That's the guy. And to give you an example of Chelsea Green, because everyone's all in an uproar right now, and rightfully so, that Michael Hayes made these comments about, well, she's so talented, she's so good at what she does, that she doesn't need to be on TV a whole lot. She doesn't need to be a main eventer. She's the girl that works with the girl, just like there's a guy who works with the guy. Wow, everyone was in an uproar. Oh, but I don't, you can't limit and blah, 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 blah. He didn't say anything wrong. As someone on the internet said, not everybody can be a celebrity. We need carpenters too, and mechanics, and plumbers, and handymen, people in the middle making it happen, the real workers. The industry had it for years, but nobody wants to come into the industry and be a hand. Everybody wants to be a champion. So they're all going out there and buying their own belts to be champion. And all it does is kill shit. I haven't seen AEW in forever, but when last I left it, they had a bunch of belts, and they mean nothing. Because they included a bunch of belts during a time period where they were still trying to get their world championship belt over. They're trying to get their world tag team belts figured out and over with the audience. They were trying so many different things. We didn't need all these belts. But, got to fight for something, right? Indie companies have this issue. I've seen independent wrestling companies 7, 8, 9 belts, and I don't understand it. This is why people say, well, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. You don't need to do 7, 8, 9 different champions and have all these different championship matches. It's not a necessary component to the business. As me and my brother were illustrating before, that it's been a long time since we've had major storylines wrapped around no title. Like Drew McIntyre and Punk is the most recent of memory of a feud or a program that didn't need the championship. At one point, Drew was the champion during the feud, and it cost him 5 minutes after he won it in Philly. But it wasn't about the championship. Get the characters over, get the charisma on display, pull in the audience, and championships will come. Not the other way around. The championship's not going to make you. You have to make the championship. So, in a nutshell, what being a champion means is you're an example. You set the example in the locker room. You're the leader. You're dependable. You're reliable. You work hard. You represent the company well. And you put the company in a position to see you as a top guy that they can use whenever they need to. Because if there's one thing people love more than a champion, is a multiple-time champion. And you don't get to be multiple-time champion by goofing off, bullshitting, doing your own thing. Champion. It's a high level. It's a high level of esteem to achieve. Even in pro wrestling, where you get to pick. How do you think they pick? I always respond with that with people. Well, he's not a real champion. They chose him to be champion. Why him? Why do you think they chose him? Or why do you think they chose her? Do you think they put a name in a tumbler and just said, ooh, all right, Montez Ford is going to win the WWE Championship? No. They're chosen because they have the same attributes that a real champion in a real sport would have. And that's what makes him being the champion believable. Drew McIntyre looks like he could fuck up half this roster. So you give him the belt and it looks believable. There's a lot of champions that we've had over the years that won world titles. They were an experimental deal, and you find out really quickly it didn't work. You know why it didn't work? Wasn't believable. I didn't get it. So if you're going to be a champion, do it correctly. Do it correctly. Be an upstanding citizen. Lead this locker room. Be a draw and get over. That's a champion. And that's not just pro wrestling. That's everywhere in life. Want to be a champion? You got to step up and do champion shit. That's what being a champion means. Get off the couch, get off your ass, get in there and get the job done. That's what it means. So, boom. Quick episode. Sorry we couldn't go longer. Sorry we couldn't have more topics. I noticed when I was editing before that a lot of my original episodes, actually, we're going into the 80s at this point, and they're still 1 hour long. 1 hour 6 minutes, 1 hour 5 minutes, 1 hour 10 minutes. I don't really get longer until I have guests, and now I have a co-host all the time, so we run long all the time. But we keep it slim here. We keep it slim because there's no sense in me talking your ears off, guys. I give you my wisdom is great in spurts. Get it in and out, in and out, in and out. You know what I'm saying? So next week, Dave will be back. I'm sure that everything is fine. I've been texting this whole time we've been recording, so everything's okay. Everything's good. There's no medical or health emergencies or anything like that. It was just something that needed his attention right then and there. But I'm pretty sure he will be back next week. I am actually on vacation next week, so should be a lot easier to get things done. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that next week, and then 2 weeks from now, it's my son's birthday, which is on Friday, the 27th. The day after is the 28th. Now, I spoke to Dave about this, The 28th is the Elimination Chamber in Chicago. I told Dave about this. I said, you don't have to commit to me. If you want to join, you can join. If not, I'll do it solo. But the idea is, as of right now, let me double check actually before I make a commitment. I want to get a start time idea. Start time. And that is, it's going to be 7 p.m. Okay, Eastern time. Okay, so the idea is, I've never had the chance, and I want to try it. It always looks fun. I want to try. I want to live stream the Elimination Chamber. I'm going to be right where I'm sitting right now, and I've got the chamber right here. Oh, not chamber. I have the big screen TV in front of me right there, which is currently Monday Night Raw paused because I'm doing the show with you guys. And I want to stream the Elimination Chamber. Now, I would love to have the chamber on the stream as I watch it. I don't know how people get away with that shit. If I put anything remotely WWE on my YouTube channel, they yank that shit immediately. Like, my whole shit gets shut down. So I don't know how that works. So I'm going to start the stream before the pay-per-view actually starts. It looks like it's a 7 p.m. start time. Sometime between 6:30 and 7, I'm going to start. And maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll work all that out to where I can have it on the screen with me, and I'll watch it, or you guys will just watch me while we watch the show together. I'll figure out the dynamics, but it's going to be the first time. This is going to be the pilot run. It's going to be OUM presents the Elimination Chamber 2026, and it's going to be dope. So join me. Chat with me, talk with me let's have a conversation while the show's on the air. I'll give you some more of my pearls of wisdom. Plus, I would love to hear your wisdom. That's how you get wisdom, by the way. It's not just looking and reading shit and telling people what it is. It's listening to and sharing experiences. I would love to share my experiences with you guys directly. And more importantly, I want to hear your experiences. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear how you guys feel about the show as it happens. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to shit on you. I might call you an idiot, but that, to be fair, I call everybody an idiot. My idiot has been called my idiot. My son's been an idiot 3 times today. And so don't take it personally. And I'm going to say that at the beginning of the show. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it classy. And when I say clean, I mean we do everything uncensored, but let's keep it respectful and honorable. You know what I'm saying? Let's not start going after each other and going crazy, or I gotta start removing people. And but other than that, gloves are off, baby. The Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. OUM going live streaming, first time for a pay-per-view. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Dave will be back next week. So thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing. And of course, thank you guys for enjoying episode 342. We'll see you guys.
Mic drop. Wait a minute. This is too much. Cooking it like a pro. Wrap it up, everybody. Show's over.